completely next level. I want to know where are you from, so go to the chat box and quickly tell me where are you from, because I've been told we have people from across the country, so I want to know where are you from. So go to the chat box and tell me. Okay, we have Pune, Delhi, Chennai, Bhopal, Pondicherry, Kozhikode, Kolkata, Ahmedabad. My God, it's going like so fast. I can barely read it. Mumbai, Hyderabad, Pune. I'm from Mumbai as well, by the way. Jaipur, Bangalore, Mumbai. A lot of Amchi Mumbai people. So hello guys. Bangalore, Delhi, Trivandrum. That's Kerala is my hometown. Don't Trivandrum is not, but yeah, Kerala is. So yeah, Navi Mumbai, Nasik, Mumbai, uh, Trivandrum, Kerala, Noida, Ahmedabad, Madurai. Wow, that's brilliant, phenomenal. So happy and so thrilled to have you guys here, because it's, I see a lot of people in a lot of businesses go through this whole thing of, oh, sales is a challenge, we can't get people to pay high ticket, we can't get people to pay premium, and so on and so forth. But there are very little who actually want to do something about it and want to change how their business looks like and want to change how their revenue looks like. So here's my question to you. How many of you over the next 6 months would love to literally double your revenue? Go and say a me in the chat box. Come on. All right, brilliant. I love this energy. Keep this energy going for the next 3 days, because for people who are going to be super interactive, super energetic, you have some special guests coming your way. All right, you want to triple it, but we're going to talk realistic numbers. You may triple it, I'm not denying it, but I don't want to promise things that I'm not sure of. I know of people who have done even 5x in 6 months, but that's not what I want to commit. So let's start with doubling the revenue. How many of you would love to get your buyers to buy premium tickets from you, premium pricing for you, and pay you what you deserve, instead of negotiating, asking you to lower the price, but rather have your buyers say that, tell me how do I get started and pay you premium? How many of you would want that? Go and say a me in the chat box. Okay, we have like big me's coming in. All right, that's brilliant. Okay, all right. We have competition on the me going on. Okay, all right. Brilliant. Phenomenal. Now, how many of you don't just want to be selling, getting people to buy, making money or any of that? You want to actually, when you sleep in the end of the day, want to sleep in the end of the day and look at your day, look at what you're doing, and feel like you're doing something meaningful, you're giving something of value, you're giving something of really something that your prospects or your clients will actually benefit from, and you actually make money for the value that you actually give. Your value that you're giving and your bank balance shouldn't be this. You should rather have the value you're giving, and bank balance should be either more or it should be exploding. How many of you would want to do that? Have something meaningful and make wealth at the same time. Go and say on me. Okay, brilliant. Then you are in the right room. And one last question. How many of you, when you are doing that pitch, when you're pricing, when you're putting your pricing out there, when you're talking about money, want to confidently charge the price instead of your voice going through jitters, having that lack of confidence or any of them? How many of you would love to be more confident in pricing your higher tickets? Go and say me in the chat box. Wow, brilliant. Because this 3 days is going to transform the way you look at sales, money, business, and most importantly, your own identity as a business owner. Yeah, because your consumer, your buyer, decides in the first 10 seconds if they will buy or not. And this decision has got nothing to do with your product. You're not losing your clients because of your price. You're losing them because of how you're thinking and how you're approaching them and how you're dealing with them. Okay, so if you think that, oh, okay, it's my pricing that's getting people to say a no, then you're hugely mistaken. How many of you have clients negotiating with you? Go and say me in the chat box. So you're not losing your sales because your pitch is not good enough, or because you're, what do you say, you're not offering something of value. You're losing sales because your client's brain doesn't trust you yet. And here's the twist. Neither does yours. And that's the reflection that you see with the client. No, I know I want to charge high ticket. We will talk about it over the next 3 days. Your client's brain is screaming. This sounds nice, but something's off. And your mind is whispering, will they even pay this much? How many of you have that during your sales call that, oh my God, will they even pay this much? I hope this person pays me. I hope he doesn't ask for a discount. How many of you have that going on during your sales call? A lot of me's. All right, okay. A lot of honest people in the room. I appreciate that because that's going to take you a long, long way over the next 3 days and in your journey, in your business. Brilliant. So what if I told you that right now, in this very moment, you're only speaking to 10% of the mind that makes a buying decision. And this is why your clients say, I'll think about it, we'll come back to you, need to ask somebody, I can't take the decision, the pricing is higher, so on and so forth. Because you are only speaking to 10% of the mind that makes a buying decision. Chat is not empty. I see a lot of messages. Don't worry on that. Keep focus. This 3 days is for yourself. So focus on yourself. Focus on your business. Focus on your prospects, your buyers, and your sales. Okay, and the chat is focused on me because I am reading it and I don't want you to be distracted with that because there are hundreds and thousands of messages here and I don't want you to be focused on the chat. I want you to be focused on our conversation because I'm talking to you. Don't worry about anybody else here in the room. This is you and me talking to each other. Okay, and that's how your next 3 days is going to look like. Now, here's the thing. Over the next 3 days, I'm going to show you something that not only transforms your ability to sell, but will shift your entire self-image as a business owner. You'll learn exactly why your current pricing, your pitch doesn't land and how to change that. Because in the next 3 days, you're going to walk away with a high ticket sales script built on psychology, a revenue blueprint tailored for your business, high ticket offer strategy, and a step-by-step strategy that's designed to take your prospects or take you from convincing to converting. How many of you would want that? Go and say me in the chat box. Come on, let me see some energy exploding in the chat. Brilliant. I love this energy. Keep the energy going. Keep this momentum going. Brilliant. Amazing. So in the next 3 days, I'm going to shift the way you think, you sell, and the price and the way you price your services forever. Okay, and if you implement what I teach in these 3 days, your revenue can look wildly different in the next 90 days. And I mean that. That's not a joke. Yeah, at this moment, at this point of time, you could have been anywhere else. You could be working, you could be shopping, you could be spending time with your family, you could be sleeping, right? You could be anywhere else. But you're here. You're here because something in your space tells you that something needs to shift in your approach to sales. Something in you is aware that selling shouldn't be this hard. How many of you feel that? Why is it this hard? Why is it so difficult? Why is it that every time we have to convince people, run after people? I really wish this was easy. How many of you have that conversation going with you? Go and say me in the chat box. And how many of you, always silently wish this? I deserve more. I wish I get paid what I'm worth. How many of you have that in your conversations going on? And you must be thinking, I've tried things before, but nothing clicked the way I wanted. Any of, people still don't pay in my market. It doesn't work and so on. Because whatever you've done in the past, whatever, you could have read books, attended programs, done videos, workshops, whatever. And if you're feeling that you still struggle, that's because most trainings teach you what to say. But they never teach you how to speak to that part of that mind that actually decides. And that is what we're going to do here. What we're doing here is going to be different than just, say this, use this script. That is not how sales work. And if that is how sales work, everybody with the same script would be doing the same results. And you don't need anybody. You get it on internet. You need to get it on Google. You don't need anybody to give you a script either now. ChatGPT can do that for you. but that's not the point. Can you guys hear me clearly? Is the voice good? Is there any breaks? Is there any issues? No? So yeah, Sanjeev, you need to fix your internet. Others can hear me clearly, so that shouldn't be a problem. Right. So let me tell you what we're going to do over the next 3 days. Let me give you a quick glimpse of how your next 3 days is going to look like. And then we move on. Just give me a second. Right. So here's what we're going to do over the next 3 days. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to uncover why people really say a no and how your mindset is actually sabotaging your sales, how you are coming in your way. And you will learn how the human mind works when it comes to decision making and how to start speaking the language of the subconscious and not just get people to buy logically, no pushing selling, no hard, aggressive, no hard selling, none of that, because that never works. You're no more in a world where your buyer is uninformed. You're no more in a world where your buyer only has you as an option. Your buyers have multiple choices. Your buyers have multiple options. Now, why should they buy you? Why should they buy from you? Right? And there's a very, very big question for you to ask as a business owner for yourself. Because this is not the world where, like our parents or, where they would say, okay, that next door guy is the only option, or that guy, that store in the vicinity is the only option, or that referral is the only option. People have thousands and thousands of choices. Why should they buy from you? So it's no more going to work by just aggressively selling, pushing, manipulating, force buying. None of that is working because your buyers now are informed decision makers. So your approach to sales can't be what worked in 2000s. You have to use a new approach to sales as well. And that's what we're going to talk about. Okay? Day 2, I'm going to hand you the script, a psychology-backed high conversion sales script that helps you close without pressure. Now, it's not again about just using a script, because as I said, a script does not work. Then you're thinking, why is she then giving a script? Because I'm going to give you an entire framework and show you how to use that and what's the entire backbone behind that script, because it's not the questions you ask. It's the entire intention behind why you're asking a question that's going to make you work. And I'm going to show you that tomorrow, and you're going to see how effective that is going to be. I've got people literally use this right from the bootcamp, go and apply it back into their life, come back on our long-term journey and tell me, hey, you know what? The bootcamp script that you did, I used that over the weekend and here's what it shifted for me. So I've literally seen the power of that. And what we're also going to do tomorrow is something very, very powerful. That is working on your desired revenue blueprint for the next 6 months. So I'm going to actually show you through mathematical calculations how you can literally be doubling your revenue in the next 6 months, and literal step-by-step methods. You will have that with you tomorrow by the end of the day. And you'll identify how to fix gaps in your sales system. And day 3 is going to be further more powerful. We're going to deep dive into strategy, where we're going to then identify why script is an incomplete conversation. What more do you need for your script to actually work? What is it that gets people to make you as the only buying choice? Why should people come and pay you the premium? How is it that you identify to how to talk to that set of people who are ready to pay that premium to you? And how to craft irresistible offers that gets you paid what you deserve. And we are also going to do on day 3 some advanced work that is on your strategies, on your objection handling, on your tonality, on how to get people to pay you higher, and whenever they say, oh, this is higher, and so on, how to turn that around. Okay, so all of that is what is going to happen on day 3. And I also tell you, for the ones who are looking at serious work, for ones who are looking at someone to handhold them and turn around the face of their business over the next 6 months, for the serious buyers, of how I will take you through by working closely with you in the next 6 months and help you to double your revenue. What we're going to do, we're going to show you that as well. I am not going to sell you anything here in the next 3 days. Nothing's coming to you, no offer coming your way, because that's not how we do. For very serious people who want to work with us long term, you're going to get a chance to book a call with us and to see if you actually are evaluated and if you actually qualify to work with us long term, because we selectively work with people each month, very small sort of set of people with whom we work to create results. Okay, so if you qualify, you will get a chance to work with us long term. So you'll get a chance to book a call with my lead strategist towards day 2, day 3. And if you qualify, then we will take you on board. So we'll talk about that later. Nothing's coming your way here. Okay? Nothing is coming in your way here today. We are not going to offer, sell anything. It's going to be on qualification only. So on the next 3 days, I want you to take maximum value, attend here fully, see if this is what calls out for you. And for the serious lot of people, come in and work with us long term. Okay? Cool? Is that good? Yes? Yes? Give me a good yes in the chat box if that's cool. Okay. Now, here's few things that I expect with you when we're going to work with each other in the next 3 days. What is going to be expected out of you and how we're going to work through this so that you know what's expected out of you and how to make the best out of this. Because over the next 3 days, as Mumtaz said, it's not just going to be a 199 workshop or any of that. This is something where you're going to get a lot of value. My intention is to give you as much as I can over the next 3 days in the time frame that I have. Sales or high ticket persuasion that we're going to talk about is not something that I can cover in 3 days. So I don't promise to make you a millionaire or anything in the next 3 days. But I promise to give you a lot of insights, a lot of awareness, a lot of identification of why you're going wrong, and a lot of tools that can actually help you with turning around your business, your approach to sales. All I want from you is this, an open-minded approach to whatever I'm going to share with you. Because whatever I'm going to share with you, as I said, this is not the 2000 method. This is not the 90s approach. This is for your new segment of audience, your new segment of approach. And that needs a new mindset, an open mindset. So keep your mind open, because this is going to come with a lot of new concepts that you have not heard of, new approaches that you have not heard of. So bring in your full presence. If you're going to do multi things at the same time, you're going to be lost, because I would have said something, move forward, and you would be thinking, what did she say? I didn't figure it out. I don't want that. Bring your full presence, show up with full presence, bring your full participation, keep all your distractions away, multitasking away. We can scroll on the Instagram a little later. Bring in your 2.5 hours here for your business to create transformation in your business, because your next level deserves your full attention. And this is something that you deserve for your own self. Give it to yourself. Give that full presence so that you can take the best out of this. Okay? And over the next 3 days, I'm going to tell you things which is going to be new concepts, which is going to shake your internal world, which is going to give you that wow, I never looked at it, that kind of moment, or moments that is going to be completely changed, or formation of a new belief or new aha moments for you. And I call these moments as GA moments, that is growth accelerator moments, because that's all you need. Sometimes that one switch, that one tweak, that one shift of approach, which can change everything else in your life, everything else in your results. So every time you're going to have a GA moment, I want you to go to the chat box and write it as a GA moment. Why? Not, I don't want you to write big things, because we're going to keep talking, we're going to keep going through the entire format. So if you're going to keep writing everything, you may miss out. But every time you're going to write something new that struck you as a GA1, GA2, GA3, in the chat box, you are going to anchor it for your own self. And this brings in your full participation here, because you're then reminding your mind, hey, I attended something, I learned something, I said GA25, there were some 25 new learnings that I got. And then your mind will have references to keep going back and to actually look at it. Otherwise, you're going to go out from here and you're going to forget, because we are in a world that's full of information. Okay, so note your GA moments. Keep your pen, paper, your notepads ready with you. There's going to be a lot of implementation that we're going to do over the next 3 days intermittently. So you'll have a lot of questions to answer for your own self as well. So keep your notepads, your laptop, whatever you need to kind of do that interactions, for your assignments, your homework. Keep those things ready with you. Okay, play full out. The more you give, the more you'll receive. You're here to shift something big, so let's honor that. So don't just sit there and be sleeping and be lying down and attending all of this, because you're here to learn something. So bring your full participation. Whenever I ask a question, bring your full interaction, bring your full attention. Participate, because that's how you learn. You don't sit on a cricket stadium, just watch someone playing cricket and you learn cricket. That's never the way it works. You actually play cricket for you to learn cricket, right? And that's exactly what I expect from you here. Interact with me, participate here, because that is going to help you get the best out of it. And for the people who are going to participate with me over the next 3 days, and I'll tell you what I mean by participation. Whenever I ask questions, give me interactions. Whenever I ask you to give me some interaction, give me those interactions. Whenever there's going to be questions related to your business, answer those questions for me here in the chat box. And participate in the assignments, do the assignments, be fully active, be fully present. So for people who are going to do the assignments, are going to attend all 3 days with me, are going to be fully engaged with me over the next 3 days over the chat, because I wish we could meet offline and we could be doing this offline, but right now this is online. So let's make the best out of this through chat and make the best out of this through our interactions, I'm going to have special extra gifts coming your way that is going to be highly, highly valuable for your business. I'll tell you what that is little later towards the end of the day, because right now we've not come to those topics, so you'll not know the power of that topic, but I want to take some of those topics today so you'll know what that is. So you're having extra special bonuses coming your way over and above what has already been promised to you when you join this bootcamp. Okay, so for the ones only and the only people who are going to interact with me all 3 days, do the assignment and be present here and attend with us for all 3 days. I'll tell you what those extra bonuses are by the end of the day today. Q&As I'm going to do on day 3. I'm someone personally who loves talking to people, and I'm someone who very easily gets distracted when there are messages in the chat. So my request to you is to bring in all your questions on 3rd day, because we have certain format for us to follow. And if I don't stick to that format, we are going to lose out on time. Okay, and I don't want to do that. So all the Q&As, I'm going to stay back until the end, take up all your Q&A on day 3, but we'll take all the Q&As on day 3 because most of the time the questions that people have, we already have that covered in one of the days. Okay, so keep your questions to day 3. If you're someone who is very inquisitive, very eager, someone who can't handle questions until day 3, you can go ahead. You all have been assigned a coach. You all have been assigned a team member from my side who's going to reach out to you, who's going to work with you over the next 3 days, check your assignments. Feel free to ask your questions to them. They will answer it for you. These are trained people who know how to answer the questions. Okay, so if you can't hold on your questions, feel free to ask them. They are more than happy to answer that. So you all have a coach who's going to work with you. So ask them the questions, but do not put it here. Do not distract the whole flow of the conversations. Okay, all right, cool. Yes, can I have that commitment from you to attend all 3 days, to take the best out of it and to participate fully? I want you to go to the chat box and give me a I commit. Okay, brilliant, 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 brilliant. Right, so moving on, when we are going to talk about high ticket, when we are going to talk about, getting people to pay you premium, can I tell you a little about me and what gets me to talk to you here about high ticket, getting people to pay you premium, selling more, doubling your revenue, so on and so forth? Is that okay if I tell you a little about my journey? Because you should know why should even listen to a single word that I say. Yeah, is that cool if I share a little about my journey? Yes? All right, cool, brilliant. So, Ansmita, I help business owners like you go from struggling with inconsistent sales to confidently charging and closing high ticket offer using psychology, strategy, and sales mastery. I have worked with thousands of business owners who once thought, will this work for me? And today they are doubling, tripling, or some of them are even doing 10x of their revenue. But this is not how anything started. This is not from where I started. I'm not a master in any of this. I'm a person who comes from zero background in business, zero background in finance, zero background in sales. I'm a science student. I went from being a person who struggled from charging 1500 rupees for my coaching sessions. I had, life took a different turn from science. I went to psychology. I did mastery in understanding human mind, studied a lot of certificates. There was a point where my wall was full with certificate. But when I would sit on my clinic, when I would sit on my, and expect my coaching clients and my therapy clients to come in, I couldn't even charge 1500 rupees for a 3-hour session. The day I decided to take it from 1000 rupees to 1500 rupees, people didn't have money. They said they can't pay, it's expensive, we'll think about it, we'll come back to you, we can't really afford this, Mita, right now 1500 is going to be a little bit out of my budget, and so on. And then I would see them on social media, and I would see them buying expensive handbags, eating pizza, shopping, all of that, and I would think, oh, people have money to do all of these things, but they can't invest in themselves, And that is what my conversation was, and that is who I was as a person, thinking that, probably because I'm not a brand enough, probably because I'm not a big enough business, probably because, I'm still not out there on social media, because all of those reasons what ran in my head, or because I don't have an MBA, or I don't come from a business background, and all of those things kept running in my head, where I couldn't charge people money, and I had enough reasons to blame them and to think of why they don't want to pay me and can go and pay somebody else. Long story short, gone through some very, very dark days of life, was in a very, very troubled time in life, and was in debt of more than 10 lakh rupees. And that is the time I started asking this question, that what is it that successful people do that I am not aware of? How many of you ever asked this question? What gets them to get the money? What gets them to be successful? What gets them to be famous? How many of you have asked this question ever in your business or ever in your life for your own self? Go and say me in the chat box. How is it that people are successful? How is it that they're making money? How is it that everyone pays them? How is it that they became whatever they became? I wish I could be that, and so on, right? Yeah, so I started my journey with that question, and that is where something shifted, because I realized I don't just need knowledge, I had enough. I needed someone who could tell me step by step what needs to shift in my business for me to create results, for me to create revenue. And that is what happened. I found some right people who trained, who mentored me. I got a chance to work with some of the top business leaders, some of the top leaders in their own industries. And I learned from millionaires and billionaires, and actually learned the art and the science of their business and what gets them to get their business or to get them to charge high ticket. So I went from this person who went from struggling to charge 1500 rupees to close deals worth 20 lakh over a single Zoom call. When the world was struggling in COVID, I was learning how to make money, and I was making some great, phenomenal money at that time. And I said, wow, this is brilliant, this is phenomenal, because it was almost, it took me years and years to struggle. And I was like, wow, this is a superpower that I've got. I took that back into my business, I applied that into my business, and I created an 8-figure income for my own self. And that's the time I said, this is what I want to do for people, because there'll be a lot of people like me who are very, very passionate about what they do, but don't know how to charge money, don't know how to sell, don't know how to get people to pay high ticket, or don't know how to increase their revenue. I want to get these people to go out there and become masters at closing, and to become phenomenal at what they do in their business, because I've learned the superpower of doing it through the best of the best, through millionaires, through billionaires, and seen how I could do, and plus brought that back into my business. So I went out there, worked with thousands of businesses, saw them going from where they were to doubling, tripling, 5xing, 10xing their revenue. And that is what brings me here to share with you everything that I am going to share with you over the next 3 days. Because anything that I'm going to tell you over the next 3 days is not just coming from a book, a video, or someone who said it. Because yes, they all said it, or I read it, yes, but it's all coming from practical strategy. It's implemented, time tested, proven, seen results in every business that I can possibly think of. Okay, and that is what I want to share. So this is all time tested, proven strategies that has worked every single time, and I've seen results and I have proof of that. And that is what I want to share with you over the next 3 days. I don't want you to trust anything that I say, but I want you to go back and implement even one thing that I'm sharing with you over here. Apply that, and you will see the power of what this can do for your business. So how many of you are excited to take your business to next 60 days, next 6 months, and double your revenue? How many of you would love that for yourself? Go and say a me in the chat box. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Let's dive in straight into the topic. But just before that, give me a quick second to tell you who is this for, just so that you're in the right place and you're making sure that you're making the best use of your time. For any service businesses who are into low ticket or want to increase their pricing and want to charge higher ticket, you're in the right place. Or if you're a service business owner who already has a high ticket and want to create more profits from your business, you're in the right place. For people into product business owners who have a high ticket products, you're in the right place. Who is this not for? If you're an e-commerce business, this is not for, because the framework I'm talking to about the next 3 days is not about the go to the cart buy kind of a format. We are talking about a one-to-one sales conversation, right? So if you're an e-commerce business, the entire format may not really work for you. If you are someone who is looking for a make rich quick scheme, do din mein paise double, that's not how it works. This requires you to take action. This requires you to implement whatever I'm going to tell you, because this is not a quick shortcut kind of a method, but this is a foolproof result oriented method. And if you are someone who's into a job, or who's an employee, you will learn a lot, but there are a lot of application that's going to come over the day 2 and day 3, which as an employee you will not have the power to apply that into the business. So it may not be the best for you if you're an employee. Okay, so this is made to just make it clear that I'm talking to the right set of people, to the right set of room, and you're in the right place. Okay, right. Let's dive into the topic now and move forward. 90% businesses fail within the first 3 years. All of you must have read this research, heard of this, seen it somewhere, but ever wondered why? Ever wondered why 90% of businesses fail in the first 3 years? Go to the chat box and give me your thought process of it. Why do you think 90% of businesses fail in the first 3 years? Come on, guys, give me more energy, more interaction. We just started. You can't start going easy right now, right? Due to no sales, no system, over expectation, lack of cash flow, lack of resilience and mindset, lack of vision, can't generate profit, lack of leads, no system in place. My brand failed due to no sales. It was a D2C thing and things didn't work. Thanks for being honest here. Resilience, initial mistakes, don't know the customer, cost of production, because they can't break even profit, lack of growth, all right, lack of system, complete cycle, all right, a lot of messages. So, right, because most of the businesses focus on enhancing their product. The entire time and effort goes into mastering the product, keep getting better and better and making it nicer and nicer and keep polishing it all the time. But they forget to master methods to generate revenue for their business. I have seen great businesses with great products to struggle to get by the end of the month. Many people think that it's all that it takes to make a great business is I want to have a great product. I am in agreement with you that you need a great product, you need a good product, but you don't need a perfect product. You need something that can add value to people. I'm in agreement with you of that. But just a good product, if that would have got you to be successful, every good product in this world would have been successful. Nokia being a great example, right? We keep seeing businesses come in and go with great products, but today they are not existent. Yeah. So the most important rule for a business owner is to learn how to talk to your audience in a way that they want to make a buying decision with you. I was this person who secretly hoped and wished at one point of time in my business that I wish somebody else buys from me, somebody else does the marketing for me, somebody else does the sales for me. I'm great at what I do. I just want to do that. I don't want to sell to anybody. How many of you have that experience going on with you? Go and say me in the chat box. Yes, to only learn, that is what got me to be in debts of lakhs of rupees, because I got into some wrong partnership, wrong things, and desperation. We did a lot of wrong decisions because I was not willing to take the ownership of my business. And it's a non-negotiable skill for any business owner to master how to get people to buy from you. What gets them to go here saying, I want this or I don't want this? Why is it that they say I don't want, or why is it that they say I want? Here's my question to you. Why do you think people buy from you? Go and tell me in the chat box, why do people buy from you? Tell me in the chat box of why do people buy from you? Trust, quality, experience, USP, they think we add value, trust due to reference, experience, quality, years, been a long time in the industry, good product, USP because my solution solves their problem, good product, quality of the food is good, face value, people buy from, okay, it's really going whatever I can read, speed, relationship because they like me, personal incident, reference, we provide the best services, quality, great quality, good product, trust, desire, time, reference, experience again, right? So can relate from my experience currently because they trust me, product with the value for face and all of that, genuine product and services. And this is exactly why people don't buy from you. All of these reasons are exactly the reasons why people don't buy from you. You think that this is why people buy from you, but this is not why people buy from you, and this is never why people buy from you. And with this kind of a language that you use, people all the more won't buy from you. Yeah, people need to trust you to buy from you. I agree. But selling is something that's outdated. Selling is something that doesn't work. Selling is something that is gone. It's the old way of doing it, because everybody likes buying something, but no one likes being sold to. I'll come to the solution. Keep patience. I'm taking you there. We're going to talk about it. As the selling is outdated, you're talking about these language. Our trust is very good. We've been in the industry for so long. Our quality is so good. Our products are so good. Azma ke to dekh lo, and all of that is never, ever, ever why someone will buy from you. No. People first buy from emotion, and then they use logic to justify their decision. I'm going to repeat this. People first buy from emotion, and then they use logic to justify their decision. It's never any of these things. And all of this only puts people away. The more you want to say, trust me, they're going to think, oh, okay, there's something that's not right about us. Let's run. We have great product, we have great quality. That's the least that's expected out of you as a business owner. Great product, great quality, great service, great experience, honest people. Why I don't go to a shop hoping that person will cheat me. Sorry, that's not why I go to that shop, right? So no one goes and makes a buying decision thinking, oh, this may not be an honest person. You're expected. That's the least that's expected out of you. To make money in your business, you need to master persuasion and incorporate that both in your marketing and sales, because persuasion is what builds trust. You're not here because your sales or your offer or your value is not good. You're not here because you need to get better at your knowledge part of your business, that you're an expert in, and you're probably really, really good at what you do. But you're losing money because you don't know how to get your prospect to actually trust you, not by saying trust me, to actually internally create a desire in them where they say, hey, you know what, I want to buy from this person. To take them from, you know what, I want this, I need this, to I really, really must have this. When it comes to selling, and when you are into one-on-one sales, you can actually be doing as high as 70 to 80% of sales into your one-on-one conversation, depending on industry to industry. Worst case of 50%. If you're doing anything less than that, you're bleeding money. And if you're doing a reference based business, then you should be doing 90 to 95% sales. And in fact, referral based business, if that's your only method of business, is a dangerous way to make business. Is a dangerous approach to business. Because that's a business based on hope. Somebody should refer and then I'll get it. That's not how it works. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow when we're talking about the sales system. But I'll come to that later. But your job is to get as high as 80% conversion when you know how to talk to your client's mind in a way that builds that trust. Because what you are currently doing, as I said, is only talking to 10% of their mind. Yeah? Because you need to know why is it that people don't buy, and how actually it's your mind that's blocking your own sales instead of them. How many of you have this moment where you have a great sales call, everything sounds nice, everything looks good, but at the end of it, they'll even compliment you for your work, but at the end of it, when it comes to the pricing, they'll say, no, they disappear, they ghost you, they suddenly find it expensive, they suddenly find a decision. How many of you have that happening in your business? Go and say, I'm in the chat box. Oh, we have a big me's coming in the chat box. And how many of you have justified yourself or told yourself these things, saying that, your stories which goes like, the market is price sensitive, market is saturated, clients don't value quality anymore, people in my niche don't pay premium, I'm not a big brand enough and that's why they don't pay me premium, and so on. How many of you have that going on with as your story when people don't buy from you? Lot of me's. I have been there. I know what that feels like. I have been there, and this is exactly the place all my business owners are when they start. And today, all of them are now 2xing, 3xing, 5xing, and even 10xing their revenue, because what they have learned is what you're going to learn now in the next few minutes with me. Okay? The most important thing about sales is this, that sales is not about convincing people. If you are thinking you'll convince people, push people, any of that, none of that ever works. It's about speaking to the mind that decides. It's about speaking to the mind that decides. And most of you are pitching to an entirely wrong mind. And that is where people say, oh, okay, we'll think about it and come back to you. You know, what's the real reason that people actually, let me actually put that slide up for you, probably that should help. What's the real reason that clients say no? Let me put that up for you. Here is the real reasons why clients say no. They cannot see the value clearly. They don't feel what you're offering is something that's valuable. You can't communicate that through your conversation with them. And that is why they say no. They didn't see you as the ultimate solution. They don't think that you are the only choice in the market, or you are someone who's a solution for them, not for the whole world, but saying that, you know what, this connects. I can pay this person, I can, I have this fitness trainer of mine who right now I pay almost 40 grand a month. And I have another friend of mine who's working out, and she probably pays her trainer like 6-7 grand a month. And when I told her I pay this guy 40 grand a month, and she's like, why on this earth? Because I had particular specific requirement, and I was a premium kind of the audience who's willing to pay for a premium kind of a solution. Probably she's the one who's going to look at the local stuff and want to pay something cheaper. So you're going to have both the segments of people. You have to know how to talk to their premium clients in a premium language, so that gets them to create a buying decision, because premium clients come with a premium outcome that they want for themselves. And they have a high ticket language. They are not talking 10 rupees kam karo, 20 rupees kam karo, itne ka do, utne ka do. They are talking about, tell me what will I achieve. Tell me what, there are certain aspects that we'll talk about, I think over day 2 and day 3, about there are certain aspects that you help people actually achieve out of the solution that you are giving for them, which gets them to make a buying decision. It could be saving time, saving energy, saving money, convenience, comfort. A lot of those aspects will come to that. But they need to see some of those aspects there as a solution that they want for them to make a premium buying decision. And your pitch does not create a desire to buy. It sounds like a generic pitch. Okay, fine. All right, cool, no problem. We'll come back to you. We'll think about it. We'll look at it. When I was shortlisting this fitness trainer to say, in fact, 40K is not even a premium, but even for the monthly package, I'm saying from that angle. But I also had people who pitched 12K, and I said, that's expensive. We'll come back to you. Why? And how did I go about paying this guy what he's asking for? Because it's about the way it was pitched. Because it's not the pricing, something lower can also sound premium if that is not actually fitting the right bill. And they don't trust you. For all of you who's sitting here and thinking, oh no, but in my market it's all about the pricing. If it was money that had to get someone to make a buying decision, how many of you know of people who use an iPhone but they can't actually afford it? Go and say me in the chat box. How many of you know of people who are using an iPhone but they can't actually afford it? Yeah, the salaries are probably 30K, and they're carrying a 1 lakh iPhone in their pockets, right? The other day, my driver had an iPhone. I was like, all right, okay, that's nice, right? But that's the point. Why? If it was money and if it was all about pricing, not everybody should be wanting an iPhone. Is iPhone the best phone in the market? Definitely not. No, for different reasons, right? But that's the desire that iPhone has created, and that's what we're talking about. How many of you know of people who go for holidays that they can't afford of? How many of you know of people who go and do shopping that they shouldn't be shopping for and then feel guilty about it? Go and see me in the chat box, whichever you know of. How many of you know of people who take loans for weddings and probably their marriage doesn't even last in few months, but take loans for weddings that they can't even afford and have weddings that they can't even afford? How many of you go on honeymoons for honeymoons that they can't afford? Yes? So it's never the money that makes a buying decision. It is more than that. And we are going to talk about what it is right now. Okay? So what gets people to make a buying decision? Why is it that people say a yes? What is it that needs to happen for someone to say, okay, this is what I was looking at and this is what I want? Okay, what gets these brands to get you to go and shop when you can't afford it? What is it that gets people to go and buy an iPhone that they can't afford? What really happens? Let's understand that. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is going to understand a little science aspect of it, because you need to understand a little of these concepts before I go into showing you how that works over the next 3 days. By the way, this is a 3-day work that we're going to do, and today is going to be your foundation. I'm going to put the foundation for it. It's all 3 days, and your entire value out of the 3 days will come when you come in for all 3 days. So attend all 3 days, okay? Because I can't cover everything in day one, right? All yours, yes, I'm going to share with you. I'm all excited to share as well. So let me show you what gets people to actually make a buying decision. But we're going to get a little geeky right now, understand a little theory right now. Then we are going to move on to the next part of how to make this work for you. Okay, for people to say a yes, you need to sell to 3 aspects of human mind. People think that one mind or one part of your mind is what makes a buying decision, but people don't even know there are 3 aspects. So people think buying decision is just one framework. No, it's 3 different aspects that has to come together and collaboratively say a yes, and that is when a yes happens. And the problem that happens with people is they have been only selling to the logical mind, and that is why your clients say that they will get back to you or will think about it and then never come back, because you've only been talking to one aspect of the human mind. So I'm going to now show you how a human mind works so that you understand how this works, and then we will go deeper into talking to different aspects of mind. How do you talk? What do you say? All of that I'm going to cover over the next 3 days with you. Okay, so first understand how the human mind works, and let's understand this for you to understand yourself, for you to understand your buyer, so that next time you're talking you really know what you're doing. Now this is theoretical or graphical representation of your mind. Now your mind is divided into different segments. Okay, the top part, the lower part that you can see here is your conscious mind. Now this, as you can see, is a smaller segment of the mind. That's only 10 to 12% of your mind. And then the larger part is the subconscious mind. That's about 88 to 90%. Now what does each of this part do? Your conscious mind is responsible for logics, decision making, choices, and so on. Okay, so people think that okay, logic, decision making, so let me talk to this part of the mind and this will do my work. But that is not how it works. From the time of your birth, you're only born with your subconscious mind. The logical mind is only developed post 8 to 12 years of your age. Okay, 8 to 10 years of your age. Now, this is the base on which the logical mind is developed. So for any decision that this needs to take, it comes back and asks a reference to the subconscious, saying, hey, what do you think? And what does this hold? Your subconscious mind holds emotions, values, your drives, your desires, your dreams, your experiences, associations, perceptions, hypnotic rhythms, and so on. So for any decision to happen, this part of the mind has to feel or have that desire, saying that, hey, I want this. This sounds exciting. This is exactly what I was looking for. The emotion has to be triggered. The desires have to be triggered. The dreams have to be triggered. So when you're talking to your buyer, they need to feel that sense of, wow, I want this. This is what, because they come to you thinking I need it. Your job is to move them to I want this. Okay, but when you're talking to them, if you end up talking to them in a way that actually triggers a negative aspect of the emotional mind, even if they would want it, the negative aspect will say, I don't want it. This doesn't sound safe. this doesn't sound something that can be working for me, because there's a third part of the mind which people rarely speak about, and that is your primitive mind. Now, this part of your mind is a mind that is developed from the time of evolution. Okay, so during age old ancestral time, we lived in this world of danger, right? So you could go out, get attacked by animals, you could be killed, you may not be safe, there can be threat, whatever. So our mind developed this habit to constantly scan for safety, danger, and threat. So all the time, your mind is in this watch guard. Okay, it's constantly looking at, is there safety, is there threat, is there danger? But now the world has changed. We are no more living in a time where you step out of your house and you get attacked by an animal and you're killed. That's not the world, right? But this is something that stayed with us. So what does this do? This now is developed in the form of creating fears. But it is no more needed. It still doesn't work. It's like the tailbone. Okay? But fear is nothing but, I have to change the color. Fear is nothing but your mind's way of telling you so anytime you're going to do something that's unusual, anytime that you're going to do something that is out of your comfort, anytime you're going to do something that is bigger, anytime that you're going to do something that is new, anything that you're going to do something for the first time, fear is a normal and a natural mechanism of your brain. But your brain doesn't know that. Neither does your client's brain know that. Now what happens is, when this develops, your job is, when you're working with your prospect, to talk to this part and create that sense of safety. But what happens with most of the sales processes is, you are talking to them. Now, let's say, for example, if your prospect is someone who's experienced cheating in their life, or who's gone through salesperson saying, trust me, we are honest, we give you great quality, we give you best material, and so on, and they actually have a negative experience with that, because there must be 10,000 salespeople who must have told them the same thing. They go back home and they see that the product is not good, it's not worth the money, they've been cheated, or so on. Their mind has a negative association to these words. And the minute you say that, they are thinking run. Anytime a mind it's been scientifically proven, when people want to pay high ticket, especially, your body actually physically experiences pain. There is a sense of pain that comes. So your job as a business owner is to make the value that you're giving them, the value that you're offering them, make it look so phenomenal and so big that this pain looks lower. Otherwise, this is going to tick in the form of resistance and say, okay, can't go for it. Today I was talking to one of our business owners. She's going to start a new business. She has to transit from one business to another. She has to start one of her new business. And she said, what, I have to create this much revenue in a month. This is what I have to do. It's going to be a new transition. She's been a doctor for the longest time. She's been a dentist. Now she's going to a new business. She said, I'm so scared. And I told her, that's great if you're scared. That's your mind's way of saying that you're going to do something new. It's brilliant if you're scared, because that only means that you're being realistic. That you're going to take a new leap, a leap of discomfort. So if you wouldn't know how to work with this part of your client's mind, they will not buy from you. And you're busy selling them features, benefits, here's what we do, all the technical things, which clogs with this two part, and they say, we'll think about it and come back to you. Because you've never spoken to them here, where you're talking to them about an outcome. How will they feel if they buy your product? What is it that's going to happen once they achieve it? How is that going to change their life? And no emotions are triggered, no values are triggered, no drives are triggered, no desires are triggered, no dreams are triggered. Rather, a lot of negative conversations, which has created a negative trigger for them of fear, lack of safety, can't trust, not really for me, I don't think this is going to work for me, triggers, and they say that, I'll come back to you. So your job, and that's why I say persuasion works, sales doesn't work, because sales only talks to this. Persuasion talks to all three aspects of human mind. And you need to learn and master how do you talk to all these three aspects that gets your client from I need this to I must have this, and this is exactly what I want to take back home. And that is what, I've got clients use this formula that we're talking about, get their clients to push their budget for almost 30% higher. We have got people who have got their clients go from, I had this business owner who is into SaaS software developments, and he's into selling softwares to restaurant owners. He wouldn't even get the restaurant owners to sit down and have a meeting. He was struggling with that when he got started. Once he learned this formula of talking to all three minds, he's not just got restaurant owners to sit down for meetings, he's got these people who are some renowned names in across India that everybody would know of. Sit down with them and actually say, this is the exact software that I actually wanted. Finally, some software companies building a software that I want instead of just giving us one that they have. And their sales actually went 3 to 4 times higher. Simple changes, small little tweaks, no rocket science. And until these two parts is not spoken to, your sales is definitely going to struggle. Because human mind is, this is your human mind. This is your brain actually. Now this is your emotional side of your brain. This is the thinking brain. And this is where your actions are taken. This primary cortex. Okay, this is where your actions are taken. Now until this three doesn't work together, the action taking doesn't happen either. And that's also where a lot of people procrastinate and they feel they're lazy. They're not lazy. They're just this mismatch in their own mind is also a big mismatch. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow. We'll come to that later. So for a lot of business owners struggling with your revenue, you need a big mismatch here, and that needs to be in alignment for action to happen. Okay, but that's exactly what it is. So the action will not come. So the action is a buying decision. Will not come until these three sides of the brains actually go and give that push to this side saying, okay, take it, do it. And this is what is missing when it comes to your sales conversation. Learn something new. Learn some new approach to looking at sales, to understanding what are these three brains? What is it? I never spoke about safety. I never understood that there is a need for me to create safety. I never thought that I need to speak to the other two aspects of it. Because you unknowingly probably are triggering by using the wrong words and the wrong responses, and that's creating a wrong response from their side. Yeah, face this kind of issue with offshore, you'll face this with anybody, anywhere in the world, India, international, anywhere. GA moment, go and say GA for all the ones who've got a GA here. You talk to any human being and it works the same. I've worked with people from 13 different countries. It's the same approach. Doesn't matter which part of this world are you going to talk to them about. Okay? Because people think that sales is about, tactics, but sales in real is about your state of mind. People don't buy from you because they don't feel emotionally safe. The subconscious is triggered. They don't see themselves as winning. The primitive mind says, stay where you are, it is safer. Because they don't see themselves going there, or they don't feel it safe. They don't feel it's something that they should do or they must do. Because you've not created a sense of safety with where they want to go. And fear is, we all have been bungee jumping, done some adventure activity, some adventure sport. At some point of time in your life, all of us have done this. Yes, experienced it, gone to some ride, something. And that feel to do it, it's exciting, right? It's exciting to want to get onto that ride. But at the same time, there's a lot of fear that comes in. Experience that? Yes. Now some still go and do it and come back on the other side and say, wow, that was an experience. Some fall for that fear and not take action. The fact is, it was just your mind's response to something unusual. Excitement and fear has the same response in your body. It's exactly the same response, but we don't know how to identify that, differentiate that, and we fall for that fear. Don't take action. And your clients are having that. Your job is to take them on the other side, not by the theory. Often the theory is for you to understand. So you can't be saying this theory during your sales call. But your job is to take them on the other side of it, moving in spite of fear, to help them take action despite of that fear. Because if they don't see themselves winning, the primitive mind won't see them, allow them to take action. And they feel you are unsure, even if your words say otherwise. Because energy always leads. And subconsciously, your client is all the time picking up your energy, your tonality, your way of how you feel about your value, your product, or what you're offering to them. Because you're constantly picking that up. The subconscious is alert. It's scanning, it's looking for it. We all have that animal instinct in us. So when you don't believe that your price is worth that, they are going to reflect that. When you don't feel that's a value, they're going to reflect that. When you don't come across as someone who's going to sound like this is a solution designed for them, that's going to come across in their buying decision as well. You might have realized as I'm talking about this that there might have been times where you would have said all the right words, but the sale did not happen. Experience that? You thought you were giving a great pitch, everything was going good, but what you were really doing in that time was triggering fear, doubt, and hesitation in both your mind and theirs. And that is why then people don't buy. I had this client who was charging 85,000 for her services, and she would pitch it at 85, people wouldn't buy. Then she thought, okay, probably the pricing is higher. Everybody would say it's nice, we'll come back to you. She said, okay, I will lower the price, because in spite of chasing, she was not getting the client. She brought it down to 60,000, still nothing shifted. And she came to us, she told us that, what, Smita, I was earlier doing 85,000, now we're doing 60,000, still it's the same, results have not changed. And I said, thank God you've done it, because now I don't have to work on that part of your head, that it's not the money. Now let's do the other side of it. We didn't change anything with our service. We rewired her entire sales energy, her mental story, the way she spoke to the subconscious to our clients. And we got her pricing to go, in fact, from 85 to 1.2 lakhs. And she sold. She closed the deals. And now she's doubled her revenue. Her pricing has got higher. She's not bringing it lower, because her entire persona of how she presents her sales pitch has brought the shift. Because if your subconscious doesn't believe that whatever you're selling is worth 1 lakh, your voice, your tone, your hesitation, your energy will say that even before you open your mouth. When I talk to you about high ticket sales script tomorrow, I'll talk about tonality a bit. And people think rapport building is all about the words they say. No. It's your energy, it's your tonality that people pick up. And you only have first 60 seconds to create an instant connection with your client. And that's completely do with your tonality. And tonality is always subconscious. Because the beliefs, the patterns, the inner ceilings that you have in your own space is going to show up. It's going to kick up and it's going to come there. And that's what your client perceives. And that's why I say scripts don't work. It's not the same script that, so many times. Same script, different results, because it's the way you're saying it that makes a bigger difference. So the aim to master when you're looking at sales is not just about your scripts, funnels, your closing technique, or any of that. You start with the mind you are selling from to the mind your client is deciding from. And that's what we're going to do over the next 3 days as well. Because sales does not work when you're busy pushing harder. That's not how people buy. And that's why I constantly say sales does not work. Sales is outdated. You have your consumers. You're living in a world where you have informed decision makers. People know things, right? It's a world of social media. It's a world of Instagram. At the click of a button, everything is available. They have hundreds of options when they're coming to you. Now, how do you become their choice? How do you become their buying decision? You become their buying decision by learning how do you speak deeper, not harder, not pushing them, not convincing them. And once you will master that, you will never go back to convincing or chasing ever in your life. How many of you have got chasing your clients, running after your clients, and would rather want your clients to chase you? Go and say me in the chat box. A lot of it. Yeah, that's going to change over the next 3 days. I'm going to show you some beautiful techniques that will stop you from chasing your clients to getting your clients to chase you. Now we understood how a client speaks things, right? Let's flip the mirror for a while. Let's do a little inward work. And let's look at what's going from the buyer's mind to yours. Okay? As that is where the whole sales story starts from. Yeah, because your client's resistance often reflects your own. It's not your client's actual story. Yeah? I've had times where there have been people who are not able to close a particular prospect, and they'll say, yes, but I'm having this prospect, and this is my days when I was doing sales. Yeah, I'm having this struggle with closing this prospect, and I'm having this challenge. Can you speak? I would speak to the same person, and the person would buy. Same product, same offer, everything is same. What shifted was the person who's selling on the other side, because the approach to sales completely shifted, and that made them feel safe, trust, think this is the solution for me. Boom, the buying happened. We've been recently working with these set of doctors who are running out an exhibition, and they are our premium one-on-one clients. I work with very selective people, like 2 clients in a year, where we charge 15 lakhs, and we're like deeply involved in their business, and we work with them. So these guys again had the same challenge, saying no one buys, knowing buys. We are buying, we are selling to all these corporates, and it's all big brands, and all the medical big brands that you hear of, they don't buy, and all of that. And I had to make some calls to Panasonic, to Himalayas, to all of those brands. And I said, all right, cool, give it to me. I'm going to make some calls and show you. I made about 5 calls to some of their same, people think, oh, this doesn't work in B2B. I made B2B calls for them, and I've done this with my B2B businesses as well. One phone call, got an appointment, got them on the presentation, understood what they're really looking at, got them to buy the stall, done. How did that happen? It's the person on the other side. The approach, when you shift the approach, they were doctors to sell to brands like Himalaya and all of them. When you're doctors, it's the easiest thing to do. And I go in there, I speak and make that buying decision for them. How? It's how you say gets the person to decide. The person on the other side, no matter who it is, B2B, B2C, a child or adult, an elderly person, or Indian, a non-Indian, is a human being. And the psychology every single time is the same. So let's just look at your own selling story for a minute. Okay, because you're not just selling a sales pitch, you're not just selling an offer, you're selling your beliefs about your worth. You're selling your energy, your permission, your self-trust, and your client is picking on that instantly. Alright, so we want to do one activity. I want to show you how. Okay? Do this activity with me quickly. I want all of you to close your eyes. Whatever you're doing, by the way, if you're driving, don't do this. Park your car on one side and do it. If you're walking, stand somewhere. If you are, operating some heavy machines, don't do it. Just pause for a minute for whatever you're doing and close your eyes. Just want to take 2 minutes to do this, okay? Close your eyes just for a moment. Think of the current revenue that you're earning. Whatever you've been making in the last 6 months, think of your current revenue in your head. Whatever you've been making in the last 6 months. Okay, what does your monthly revenue look like? Think of your current revenue, monthly revenue. And since how long have you been there? Ask yourself this question, keep your eyes closed. This is for you to be in your own space, okay? Nothing to answer me right now. Just keep your eyes closed, ask yourself this question. Since how long have you been there? Since how long have you been making that kind of a money? And since how long have you been wanting to break that revenue ceiling? have you experienced that no matter what you do, you're still circling around the same revenue number plus or minus 5 to 10%? And even if you somehow manage to go to the next level for a few months, you'll suddenly have a sudden expense, something unexpected, something that will come up that will create an extra expense and bring you back at the same revenue ceiling all over again. Felt it? Experienced it? Been in that same cycle, max 10, 15% up and down, but been in the same cycle for a long time? Whatever that number is, you can open your eyes. Whatever that number is, that is your current subconscious money ceiling. No matter what the market looks like, no matter what your industry looks like, no matter what people are ready for, it is not what the market allows, it is what your nervous system allows. And your job as a business owner is to transform your story along with understanding your buyer's story, because that is where you start seeing results. And that's what we do when we work long term with business owners over the next 6 months. We work on both the aspects, because one alone never creates results. The best strategies, the best insights, the best knowledge. How many of you know of people who are like phenomenally knowledgeable, brilliant knowledge, but the results in their life don't really match? Not making the kind of money that they should make based on their knowledge. Or people who think that I know it all, I have all the knowledge, I know this, I've read this, I know this, but no action. Or people who are big dreamers, हम ये करेंगे, हम वो करेंगे, हम वैसे करेंगे, no action. How many of you have this challenge in your business? Seen people who have this challenge? Go and say me in the chat box. Know at least one person in your life who is in that place. That's because their inner story is a big mismatch. Their alignment, till that doesn't happen, no amount of strategy, no amount of knowledge, no amount of wisdom, no amount of encyclopedia is going to put them into action. I'm working with some of the doctors, researchers, PhDs who are barely breaking even, who are barely getting on the other side. And now we're talking about a few crores of businesses with them. What shifted? They are the masters in what they do. We're working with this business who we're talking about creating 500 crores of revenue. She started with zero with us. She's a PhD doctor. Yesterday when my team sat with her, and she's a part of our long-term 2-year journey as well. So they were working with her in the brand marketing strategy. Some of the stuff she said, I told my team, just sit with her for a day, first download the information from her, because she herself is an encyclopedia. You will not get any information like that from reading 10 books either. But she was at zero when she started with us. Today we're talking 500 crores in a period of a year. In the next 2 years, that's our game plan for her. How? Because you need that alignment happening. That's when results happen, that's when actions happen, and that's when knowledge is never enough. Chia moment. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever been on the sales call where everything should have gone right? The client needed the solution, you explained the benefit, you answered their question, you followed up, but still there's no sale? Yeah? I've been there. I know how it is. I would be like, okay, but he was interested. They said it was really nice. They really enjoyed it. I would do workshop. People would appreciate me for my workshop. They'd say so much value, so much this. But I would not get people to buy. And that used to drive me crazy. I would be like, what else do they want? What is it that they really want? How much more lower pricing? But then I realized something that changed everything for me. That I was speaking to a human mind. A mind that was scared, confused, overwhelmed, guarded, most importantly. And I was not talking to those aspects. And plus there were those same sides of me which I had not addressed. which would sound like in real life when it comes to if you have these things which is coming up for you, which is the scared, confused, overwhelmed, the subconscious, which has its own doubts, the guarded side of you, all of that, it sounds like this in real life. That you hesitate to say your price out loud on a call. I heard one in one of the boot camps, one of the participants said, I sit on a sales call, I do a sales call, but I don't do the sale. And I'm like, why? Because I don't do the pitch. I'm like, why? Because one call is not enough to get to know the prospect. I'm like, that's not how long you should take. If you're on a sales call, do the sales pitch. But no, I'm sure there was conversation in his head which told him that no, I'm not ready to do that pitch part of it yet. Yeah, when we do the high ticket script tomorrow, I will show you how it is done more effortlessly without making it very complicated. You experience that you drop your voice or you speed up when you quote the fee. How many of you have that experience when it comes to pricing? Or you over explain the value because you are trying to convince your own self. Or you'll give discounts before the client even objects. You call it premium because you are scared they will say it is too much. Yeah, this is your subconscious's method to protect you from rejection. Freebies, over explanation, yes, absolutely. Yeah, even before the client is saying expensive, okay, we can give you at this price. A lot of my participants tell me when we're working on the offer, so now I want to sell it at this, but I'm okay with this selling at this. And I'm like, then why are you selling at this? No, because I don't think people will pay. I'm like, decide where you want to pay. What you want to price yourself. Client will pay you. And we've seen those same people charge higher and get that money. Yeah. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to show you something very, very powerful now. That's going to change the way you look at your clients. Okay? As the aim is not to lower your price. The aim is not to get the discount. The aim is to understand and go deeper into the psychology of your buyer and how you can use this tool to decode your prospect's subconscious before they even speak. Because once you understand how people actually decide, everything shifts. And this tool is going to change how you approach sales conversation from this moment onwards. Okay, and it's called as the BEST framework. Alright? Team, if you can just put up that slide for me. Yeah. Now, here is the framework that we're talking about. Now, here is what you need to understand. When you go on a sales call, even before you go on a sales call, you need to know I'll explain this with each of the businesses, so don't worry on that. Right now, this is theory part. I'll make it day-to-day life example. What are the beliefs, emotions, situation, thoughts that's there with your prospective buyer even before they buy your product? And then you should also know what will shift with them once they buy your product. Can you guys go to the chat box and tell me what your businesses are about so that I will use some of the examples of the businesses here to show you how this can be done. So I'll just use some of the examples and tell you what that really means, okay? Right. So for every buyer, when they come to you, they have certain beliefs, certain emotions, certain situations, certain thoughts that is creating a need for them to want to, buy from you or want to buy your product or service, okay? So your beliefs could mean what do they believe about themselves, money, people like you, their ability to change, anything, okay, or paying or any of that, right? Now, when it comes to belief, let's say for example, if you're talking about, let me take some of the businesses here. Okay, let's say digital marketing, right? Now, if their belief before they buy from you is that I can't generate leads in my business, okay? And if you are going to talk to them about the technical aspect of how you will run an ad for them, you have not spoken to their belief. Your job is to show them how you can generate leads that will convert and buy from them effortlessly. Instead of talking about I was working with this digital marketing agency and I told the sales guy, okay, do the sales pitch for me. Let me see how it works and why you're not getting the sales. And this guy just kept talking about the Facebook ad campaign budget. He talked about the how we will run an awareness campaign and how we will, all technical stuff. And I said, okay, this is not how we do the sale. And then I showed the same pitch back to him. I said, this is how we do it. And I trained the entire company. And the founders were like, oh my God, we've never approached sales from this slide. Their sales actually went 5x from there, just with shifting that one pitch for them. Okay, so instead of telling them the whole jargons about digital marketing, how you'll run the Facebook ad budget, or you're talking about what campaign you will run, what it will do in the beginning, all of that, they want to know. If their belief is I can't generate leads, your job is to talk to them about lead generation. Very simple as that. Okay. By the way, this is going to be an assignment for all of you for today, of doing this entire framework for your clients before they come to you, as in when they come to you on the sales call. After they buy from you, what should shift again? All right. So this is an example in terms of digital marketing. I'm just going to take each of the aspects and do an example for each of the different businesses. Okay. When it comes to emotions, what is the next business that I can see? Let's say real estate. Okay. When it comes to emotions, what are the emotions that they are bringing to the conversation? Are they excited? Are they nervous? Are they guilty? Are they ashamed? Are they desperate? Or are they numb? If their emotion is fear, your offer has to create safety. If the emotion is overwhelmed, your offer has to create clarity. Your job is to shift their emotional state. And that is what every great closer does. They don't just explain the service, they shift the emotional state of the buyer. As you will start noticing your client's emotions, you will start noticing your own power to shift them. But you're so busy talking, doing the pitch. You've not even noticed or addressed what's running on. Now, if I were to take an example of a real estate, and let's talk about an emotion, right? Very simple, very easy. Let's say if you're talking about someone who's a first-time home buyer. What's their emotion? It's a dream. That's a first bar home, right? So they have a lot of dreams of happiness, of excitement, joy. I spoke to someone recently who's put all their life savings, sold all their gold, gone through so much pressure, taken so much loan to just buy their house. And I'm like, why on this earth did you have to go through so much? But no, it's the dream, it's the desire. Right? So what does the real estate guy has to do? Show them the same dream. First home, how do you want it? What do you, when we talk about the script tomorrow, we'll do more of this. But what do you want to create? How does it look like for you? How happy are you going to feel? What are you going to feel? Generate that excitement of happiness. Show that dreams to them. Build that desires in them through conversation. So move them from thinking of the pricing of the house to how would living in that house feel? And that joy has to come through the conversation. That's the job. Yeah, situation. Let's move on. Now, situation is what is their current struggle, challenges, frictions, what problems are they having before they come to you. Okay, what is the problems that is troubling them? What are the challenges? What is it that they want to achieve but what is coming in the way? Most of the buyers, most of the sellers stop here. They just do a surface level understanding. They never go deep and understand their challenges. So what are you exactly looking at? Now let's say for example, if you're talking about, again, let's say travel agency, right? So what is the kind of holiday that they're looking at? What is it that they want to do? Now this is something that I'm sure most of the businesses do, but that's a surface level. Go a little deeper. Understand the challenges. Why have you done this kind of a holiday before? Or you want a personalized, tailor-made holiday. Why do you want to do it? What is the reason you're looking for it? What stopped you from doing this before? Why did you decide to do it now? Never gone so much deeper to find out what is coming in there. They will tell you, they'll explain what's come in the way, what stopped them, what are their challenges, what comes in the way that stops them from taking that action. So even before you come to the pricing, you could have taken care of all their objections way in advance. When we do the script tomorrow, I'll show you how this is done in detail. But right now, it's about understanding these things about your client even before you go on the sales call. That's the most important thing. This is not something you do when you go on the sales call. This is something that you should know even before you go on the sales call. So that when you go and use that script that we're going to talk about tomorrow, you would know which direction to navigate them through. A sales conversation is not a theoretical script. It's a nice flow, and you should know how to flow with them. And for them, you should know all of these things. Yeah, I'm just taking random businesses, guys. I right now can't be taking hundreds of different businesses. I'm just taking random businesses that popped up first, okay? Right, moving on to thoughts. Now, what are they thinking when you are talking? Because you are talking to them about your features, about your benefits, and so on and so forth. But at that time, they have a different thought process running in their head. They're not saying it aloud, but their mind and their head is saying, will this work for me? What if I fail again? I've already tried something like this. I want it, but I'm scared. So it's your job to talk to them about these things. Yeah, let's say for example, somebody said beautician course here, right? So let's say for example, if you are selling a beautician course, so let's say you are selling, you are training homemakers on how to become makeup artists. So they're probably saying that's a lot of money. These are a category of people who don't have the money to pay, so they'll all the more have resistance to pay the money. They have to ask somebody, what if my husband doesn't give me? I have tried multiple Shota courses in the past. I've never been able to make money. No one in my family trusts me. So you have to show them how you're going to support them until you make the money. You have to show them how you're going to support them until they're going to cut on the other side, how to make the revenue, how this investment is going to create 100% results for them, how it is different from whatever small term courses they must have done for their ghar ka business. Right? Because you have to shift their belief in what their family thinks, and their fear is how do they ask that money from that category of people. So your conversation should be around that, not about hum itne sare, I had this makeup artist who was working with makeup artists to become better makeup artists, and her conversation would be about hum itna makeup sikhayenge, itne looks sikhayenge, itne makeup products use karenge, and we shifted her whole conversation. She struggled to charge 20,000 something, today she charges a lakh. And her entire business has gone to 10x. How that shifted is the conversation shifted. Okay, so that's what you need to know before you even go on that sales call. And then go to the next slide, please. Then there is a shift. When I told you both. So you're taking them from here to here. Okay, I need this, so I want this. So I need this, as I said, I think I used the digital marketing example. So the need was, I need leads, right? After they buy your product, what would shift? You would have got leads that are highly easily convertible, and they will pay you the money that you want. That is what is shifting. So then you should talk to them about that and show them how you will achieve that for them. And that's for each of these emotions again, the beliefs, emotions, situations, and thoughts. Okay? This is your assignment for today. Sit and work on this, because if you put some effort, you will realize if you have a challenge, you have us to answer it for you. Do not be lazy about it. Do not address it. You have the coaches. Do this assignment, send it to the coaches. We'll actually review it and give you the feedback. All right? Because I want to take it to the next level. Has this been insightful? Have you guys learning some new concepts about sales? Have you been understanding some new approaches to sales? Never looked at sales from this slide? Yes? Great. But for the ones who are looking at working with this long term, you are going to get a chance where we are going to qualify interested people. We are going to see if you fit into what we're looking at, because we're looking at some serious business owners, and all I need is 15 business owners from this entire segment to work with us long term, where we'll work with you closely and create results for you. Everything I'm telling you, we implement it, we make that happen, we create that for you in your business. Okay? So we're gonna give you a chance, and today we might even roll out a form for the ones who are interested. You'll get a chance to fill out that form, and see if you qualify. I'm not sure if you qualify. If you qualify, you'll get a call from the team. So that's completely, don't take offense on that. It's just for really ready business owners. So if you're ready, you'll get a call from the team. You might get a chance to fill that form out. We'll talk about that a little later, because I have to take you to something more interesting if you have learned something so far. Wow, we've done a lot of things so far. I know today is a lot of theory, understanding, new concepts. Is this getting heavy? Is this getting like, oh my God, too many new things? Yes? Or is this fun? Are you guys enjoying? Yes, tell me if you're enjoying. Just say an enjoy in the chat box. All right. Brilliant. Happy to know. So ready to go more? Want more? Shall I share some more aspects? Yes. All right. Okay. Because when we analyze with our participants, we analyze their real-time sales calls. When they go and do their sales calls out there with their real prospects, our team actually gets them to share the recording and we analyze the sales call. And when we're analyzing it, this is what we're looking at. What emotion, what belief, what thought did they miss out? What is it that got them to lose that sale? And when we start filling in that gap for them and telling them, that's where they go out and start closing faster with confidence, because it's very, very easy, way easier than what you think. Yeah, moving on. Let's go to the next thing. Is something very, very powerful. I'm sorry, I got a little bad throat today, so I'm just constantly, I'm constantly singing something wrong because it's very, very bad. Today morning I was thinking, can I really even do this boot camp, because I didn't look like I was in a shape to do it. Okay, let's moving on. So I'll show you something wild, and this is brilliant. Okay, now you could have a perfect product, you can have a great lead, you can have a great sales system, all of that could work, but you could still be losing a sale just because of few wrong words. Sales is a combination of words, tonality, and body language. And in today's world, because a lot of things are done online, it's tonality and words more important, and your energy. How can I forget that? So it's your tonality, your words, and your energy that's predominantly coming out than your body language. Yes, body language does play a role, but these are some of the things that comes out more prominently when you're doing online or a telephonic conversation. Okay, and your words are very, very, very powerful, because language is not just a form of communication, it's a method of transformation in sales. Okay, a difference between an and a but can actually get you to lose sales. And I'll show you this. Okay, let's do a quick experiment. I'm going to say a phrase and I want you to notice how it feels in your body. Okay, I'll say a phrase, see how it feels in your body, and I want you to tell me what feels what. Okay, now when I say, would you like to buy this, versus let's explore how this can work for you, what feels better? Would you like to buy this, or let's explore how this can work for you? One or two? The first or the second? You can write either one or two. So one is, would you like to buy this? Two, let's explore how this can work for you. Two. Yeah, I'm just giving you statements. See how it feels in your body. Yeah, we're doing a quick, it's a game we're playing. Right. Now, I'll give you more statements. This is a paid consultation, versus this is a business breakthrough session to map your 90-day revenue jump. One or two? This is a paid consultation. This is a business breakthrough session to map your revenue in the next 90 days. We can try and do this for you. When we work together, this is what we achieve. Option one, we can try and do this for you. When we work together, this is what we can achieve. That's your two. Yeah? One more. We offer ABC, whatever your options are, right? We offer leads, we offer sales, we offer marketing, whatever, okay? Versus, here's how our clients experience results they used to think were out of their reach. And blah, 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 blah. One or two? Two all the way, right? Feel the difference? This is not psychology, it's biology. It's your nervous system that reacts to certainty, safety, and clarity. Words have power. What you say means a lot. My daughter is a teenager. So of late, these teenagers have this habit, like she'll tell me all the time, her friends keep hearing them say, I feel so depressed. I feel so depressed. And I tell them, you are feeling sad. And I'm like, can you say this for me? Yeah, I am feeling sad at this moment. Like, yeah. Do you feel different now? Yes. That's it. I feel so scared. Oh, you're probably anticipating. Huh? The minute you change the word, the whole experience of how you feel about it shifts. And that's something for you and during your sales conversation. When I'm listening for sales conversation, whenever we do a sales review, whenever we have a Monday mock sales training, I am listening to the words they're using. Because your words can either kill your sales or buy you sales. That's what I said. And a but can interchanged and used at the wrong time could mean completely different and could create a completely different experience. Yeah, so yes, words, what you say is what you feel for yourself, but also what you say is what you create as an experience for your clients. And I'm going to put up some of the words. We will also share this with you in the WhatsApp community. I hope all of you are in the WhatsApp community because a lot of things that's going to come to you in the WhatsApp community. The best framework, a lot of you asked me to put it up again. That's going to come to you in the WhatsApp community. That's your part of the assignment today. Okay, so that is going to come your way. I'm also going to share these words that's going to come your way, that's going to come to you in the WhatsApp community. So all of your special gifts that is going to come your way is going to come in the WhatsApp community. So if you're not in the WhatsApp community, team, if you can just put the support number for them so that they can message on that number and get an access to the community. Yeah, that's a WhatsApp community link for you. Just go and join that link because tomorrow's script also will come to you there. Then you'll again keep half of the time search for the script instead of focusing on the script. So join the community right now so that you don't miss that out. Okay? Right. Cool. So I'm going to put up the words. Guys, go to the link. There's a link in the chat box. Go and join that community. All the things I'm talking about is going to come to you in the community because we can't keep sending individually. This is going to come to you directly in the community. Yeah. Here's words that kill sales, right? These are the words and phrases that accidentally trigger resistance, fear, or doubt. Okay? Using words like cost or price, it triggers comparison and scarcity mode. Do not use words like cost or price when it comes to your sales. Buy now, sign now. It feels transactional and it creates a decision pressure. I think we will do this. I think we can get this done for you. I think doubt, uncertainty. Maybe we can, I will try for it. Uncertainty. It weakens your authority and it signals uncertainty. Do not use these words in your sales, in your day-to-day life ever. Just or only. We can just do this. That means, just this, baki kuch nahi milne wala, diminishes the value. Only, we could do only this. This is the only thing that we can do. This is the only thing we can add in for you. Diminishes value. Do not use just or only. Okay? Let me know. Passive shows no leadership. Let me know, which means आप फुर्सत से बैठे. Yeah, let me know what you think about it. और तुम्हारे पास time ही time है. मतलब वो इंसान को ना तुमने deadline दिया है ना. That's something that we always do with the follow-up. There's always a timing. We tell our participants you have to keep a timeline to that. No, let me know, will tell you, passive. That means that you don't have an authority, you have no leadership. तुम ऐसे ही वेले बैठे हो, कभी भी आ जाओ, कोई problem नहीं है. Okay, let me know what you think about it. You have to always give a time for a follow-up. Always. Okay, do you think that in the next 24 hours we could phrase this? Do you think we can, we can actually talk about this in the next 24 hours? And can you get back to me and we can finalize this? Because, otherwise I need to move this out of the whatever, right? So, let me know is something that you should definitely not use. Our product or service will do this for you. Too generic. Doesn't speak specifically. When we work with you, this is what we create for you. No, our product, our service will do for you. You will get 5 calls. Sounds like a package, not a results. Okay, speak about the result. What will the 5 calls do? That is what they want to know. 5 calls में आप phone करके शायद time waste कर रहे हो उनका. उसका उनको क्या करेंगे? Right? So it needs to speak like a result. So you need to speak to your client's mind of what they will achieve as an outcome. Not just talk about your features, your, your technical things or what your value elements in terms of the benefits or any of that. You speak about what they get as an outcome. So never use these words in your sales conversation. You have words that you should use, words that create emotion, trust, and action. So instead of these power words, work with your subconscious. They create safety, clarity, and emotional desire. let's explore when we work together how we could create blah 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 blah. Okay, what that shows? Collaborative. It removes pressure, it creates curiosity. Here's what we will create together. When we get started on this journey, here's what we'll create together. It's an emotional ownership. This is designed for people who are very serious about doing this. It creates an identity alignment. This is designed for people who really only want to achieve this. This is designed for people who want to be a part of that serious buyers or whatever it is, right? An identity alignment. You start becoming a part of a desired group. So you're creating an identity alignment. It's not for everybody. What most people don't realize is, that what happens is you suddenly becoming an expert. You're talking about, like, let's say I spoke about a digital marketing service, right? So what most people don't realize is that they are only worried about generating leads, but leads may not just be doing the work for you. You need to generate relevant leads. You became an expert suddenly, okay? You will finally be able to achieve blah, blah, blah in your business. Anchors emotional payoff, showing them what they will achieve out of it. What becomes possible after this is that you will be able to do this. You're showing them the transformation. What becomes possible after this is we get you started with a loan, we get you started with this down payment, and then within this period, you would have achieved your house where you'll be living with your family, blah, 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 blah. Okay, show them the future transformation. Imagine waking up to a life which makes you feel blah, blah, blah. That's your emotional visualization. This isn't about more work, it's about less resistance. Handles objection inside the pitch, where you're actually, even before, so this isn't about more work, it's about less resistance, is a statement. So the same way you could frame any objection in a statement before and create an outcome right immediately after the objection. The objection will go even before it comes. Okay? And there are many other methods to do this. These are some of the methods that I'm showing you. Most clients feel a shift in their revenue mindset by week 2. That you're showing a social proof. Most clients experience this with us by this time. So you're showing a social proof that creates for them that, okay, by this time I would have achieved the same thing for me. Okay? This will come to you. Don't worry about taking pictures about this. This will come to you. Okay? I cannot do regional language right now. This is a common platform for everyone, and this is going to be for majorly English speaking. But yes, there is regional language words as well. We work with that when it comes to more tailor making, and when we work with you closely, that definitely happens. Yeah, cool. So these are your power words that helps you create an impact. So what you say in your sales pitch is way more important than just the same, the meaning of it. Okay, the same 2 words with the same meaning can create a completely different experience. That's the power of what words do. So you have to be watching out for how does your words sound like, because that's what we do. When we're listening to their sales calls, when they're doing the sales mock practices, we're looking at what are the words that they're using. When we create personalized scripts, that's what we do. We create those power words, which is framed and tailored into your business, which is going to create that kind of an impact when your buyer listens to it. When we work on offers, that's what we do. We create those hot words, which creates an emotional response. Because sales is about all of these things, and that's what I say, sales don't work, persuasion does, because you have to know how to talk to their emotional mind, their subconscious mind, in a way that it goes like, because I'll show you the power of what all that we spoke right now does. Just give me a second. Let me show you a quick glimpse of what this would look like for a lot of you. Just watch out. Everything that we spoke about today, watch out for the power of what that can do for you.
I have 3 good news for this week. I have reached 2x of my income this month, so that's the first. And I have added 2 new services to my program after a long break, converted to projects worth 10 lakhs each.
Wow, great job!
Thank you. And 1 collaboration with a factory person, and 1 collaboration with a CRM team. So hopefully to have lots more year on.
yesterday closed one deal.
Okay.
Got token for that, and again on same day evening we upscale to the same client and got advance for that.
I launched my new logo on Sunday.
Congratulations.
I'm very thrilled about it. Finally, it's been going on for a long time. But it was done to small sales orders also I've got, very small ones. But yeah, something is moving. And and website is going on. I think hopefully in a month's time I should be able to launch that as well. So it's a big step for me from where I started. And all thanks to you, Nazia, and the entire team for supporting us all through. And Dhwani, especially for this logo thing.
Thank you. To real deep gratitude for where I stand today, from where I started. And now I can actually share something with the group. Two things have happened, things have happened. One, that finally Me Wise Gummies are now going to celebrities. And that would not have happened if you had not shared the story of Bee. I would have never looked into that. So seriously,
Great job.
this
Did you
has
increase
gone-
on the numbers from the last
Yes.
time? But it's okay.
Yes. So we had repeat orders from one of them, and now we have added 2 more celebrities, and we have to, so 3 celebrities are there now.
Brilliant.
That is one good thing. Second thing is very happy because of some of these things which have happened, and I have been putting on different social media. Today, in fact, I joined as an independent director in one of the Fortune 500 companies.
This Thursday call I attended, okay? It's my fault that I have not attended till date, but this Thursday I attended. And to be very honest, whatever beliefs I was having related to sales, I was feeling so confident, so effortless while taking. I was with Hema. I don't know whether she's in this call. But to be very honest, Smith, I really wanted to thank you. Once you start talking to an unknown person, you understand how much abilities you have. So that gave me a lot of strength कि मैं फालतू ही डर रही थी इतने सालों से. So when I was talking to you a day before, I remember I was talking a lot about my limiting beliefs related to sales, but that was really the day which showed me that no, Meenal, you can. So that's my first win. Second win, when we sat and we created the whole this script and everything, what my program is about, and then I told you that I had one more client. So one is right now not in India, so she will come back. One, I have done it. And to be very honest, she said that with me, my daughter will also join. So, so that was amazing. So these are...
And did you close it at the price that we spoke about?
Yeah.
So can you tell us the price that you closed the deal for?
Yeah, it's 1 lakh.
Based on our lectures and conversations, I try to push them in terms of budget. So usually what happens that in the first glance, they always start with the strict budget. And I try to show them the values which we used to give, but we usually don't craft it in a manner. So they come up with certain budget and try to push them and shown them the values of making certain things. And they loved it. They said, okay, so they expanded like 40% of their budget. So that's what I learned. I'm still crafting the whole process and would like to connect with the team. But something which is, like when I joined and some headache over there in terms of budget as well. So I'm happy that things are getting on a track and things are
No problem.
So I just got it.
Just 3
Well,
weeks?
for the networking, I used to stick with my drawings, but nowadays, so like I read targets and I try to approach people like a lot of art festivals or doing but randomly go up and I walk across, meeting them, sharing my
This is the power of what we spoke about. Because everything, and it's not complicated, it's not rocket science, it's not something that is very tough, very difficult. If you're thinking, oh, I'm an introvert, I can't talk to new people, I can't talk to strangers, don't worry, you don't have to be an extrovert. Introverts do brilliant with sales. If you're someone who struggles, you're shy, you struggle talking to new people, you don't have to master or become out loud or flamboyant or any of that. That is not how it's important. What's important is to just understand these 3 frames of the mind. How do you talk to them and create a buying desire? Because what we did today was transformation. What we did today was understanding the foundation of it, understanding it is. I'm absolutely talking here with you, Jayant. So, what we did today is understanding the foundation, understanding how a person's world works, understanding the use of power of words, understanding how to talk to 3 aspects of the mind. That was foundational. It's only the beginning. Because the mindset without messaging doesn't sell. And messaging without offer clarity doesn't convert. And all of it without a clear sales system leads to burnout, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to cover more. We're not done yet. You have an assignment to do today. So the assignment of the best framework is something that you have to do. For the business owners who are done with dabbling in their business, who are done with double guessing and figuring out, and who's ready to create their next income identity, we are going to give out a form here for you to see if you qualify to work with us long term. This is only and only for the serious business owners who think that this is what you want, who think that you want someone to work with you closely over the next 6 months to start with doubling your revenue. Because if we work with you, we generate results, we create results, we give guaranteed results. So we choose and qualify who we are going to work with. So the team will send out a form here for you right now. Fill in the form. If you qualify, the team will call you, will reach out to you, will do a quick qualification round. And when you fill in the form, also answer the call, because the team is going to call you and have a word with you. So we'll do a quick qualification, see if you're ready, and then we'll talk to you about how we can work together long term. Tomorrow we have a lot more work to do. We have a lot more deeper work to do. I'm going to take you through a high ticket persuasion script that will show you how to talk all of this that we covered today. I'm going to translate into statements, words, and show you how to do that. I'm going to talk to you about tonality, how to use that. I'm going to talk to you about how to actually create your desired revenue blueprint. We're going to do some mathematical calculations and show you how to achieve that. We have some solid, serious work coming in tomorrow, because it's going to blow your mind when you're going to do the calculations. We are going to also take you through your sales system, identifying what the leaks are in terms of your sales system and how to fix that. So tomorrow is very, very powerful, and day 3 we have a lot more other work to do as well. So today, if you found valuable, today if you found insightful, we have a lot more work to do tomorrow. Come in tomorrow, because we are just on the foundation. I know today I opened the concepts. A lot of you must be thinking, solution, how do I do it? How do I talk to them in this way? How do I speak to their mind? How do I speak to their primitive mind? I will show you all of that tomorrow. Okay, and day 3, I'm also going to show you objection handling. I'm going to show you lead magnets. So we have some very, very powerful work coming over the next 3 days. Lot of work to do. Okay, so for all the implementation is going to come tomorrow and day after. So come in tomorrow at the right time. Do not miss it. I want a commitment from all of you that you'll come in tomorrow. Go and tell me in the chat box that you commit. So, I want that commitment. I hope today was valuable. Today was insightful. You learned something new. My aim is that today when you sleep, in the night before you go to bed, I want you to do an awareness check on what is really been happening in your sales conversation. How have you been talking to your prospects? What have you been missing out on? Because when you sleep tonight with your eyes open, before you get into that dream state, I want you to start thinking about these aspects. And what is it that I do? What is it that I do in my sales call? How am I talking to them? What is it that gets me, what are the kind of words I'm saying? Which aspects am I missing out on from all that I heard today? Because tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to make that happen. Yeah? So if today was insightful, come in tomorrow, because we have not even started. It's just the scratch. It's just the foundation today. We have a lot more work to do tomorrow. For the serious ones, for the ones who don't want to dabble, who don't want to double guess, who are very serious and really want to double your revenue in the next 6 months, go and fill out that form, because it's just a qualification. You filling out the form doesn't mean we are going to select you, doesn't mean we are going to work with you, doesn't mean that this is going to be open for you. I'm just seeing your interest level. If you're really, really serious, go out and fill that form, because it's for serious people. Yeah, so that's your qualifying form in the chat box. Tomorrow, come in on time. We start on time. We have a lot more work to do. Be prepared to stay tomorrow until 9:30, because we have a lot of content to cover tomorrow. So be ready to stay till 9:30. So come with your day planned in that way. Okay, because we have a lot of work tomorrow. Yeah, with that, I will say tomorrow. I hope today was insightful. I hope you learned something new. I hope you had some new perspectives, some new insights, and some new approaches and awarenesses about sales. Yes. With that, I'll see you tomorrow. I had fun talking to you. Keep up the same energy, keep up the same enthusiasm, keep up the same activity, because we have a lot of work to do tomorrow. Yeah, and for the serious one, go out there and fill in the form. I'll expect much clearer audio without echo. I think we can fix it by tomorrow. Okay, I don't know. I didn't hear anybody else telling me this. Did you guys have an echo challenge? Because I didn't hear that today. But if that's been the scenario, let me know, because if that's no, so nobody had an echo. So I think you need to fix something at your end, Jayant. You need to check that. Right. Okay, so we'll see you guys tomorrow and come in on time. We have a lot more work to do. So quick glimpse of what tomorrow is going to look like for the visual people who like to see and understand what we're going to do. So this is a quick check on how tomorrow is going to be for you. Here. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to use show you how high value persuasion script, how to use that to get people to pay you the premium, how to get people to pay you a higher price, not do the negotiation, your desired revenue blueprint, identify the leaks in your sales system, and your chance to change the trajectory of your sales cycle. Okay, tomorrow is going to be powerful. If you learned something new today, tomorrow is going to be implementation. It's going to be like wow, it's going to be amazing. You're going to see the power of what we do. I'm going to work with show examples of certain businesses tomorrow of how to use the script into certain businesses. So I'm going to tailor make that conversation as well. So it's going to be fun. So come tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of learning, lot of insights, lot of takeaways. Do your assignment, share it with your coaches because that is very, very powerful. The coaches will actually review it and give you feedback. That will give you a lot of insights. And tomorrow will be much more beneficial if you do that as well. And in case you get stuck, reach out to the team and say that as well. Hey, I was trying this, but I got stuck. Can you help? That would also let you know that where you are, where you stand, and what's really the challenge that you are having in terms of your sales or understanding your audience. Because by the day 3, all of these challenges are going to be sorted out. All right? Okay, with that, I will see you tomorrow. Be there, and I had a lot of fun. We'll see you. Take care. Bye bye. Good night.